Hi, welcome. This is Marty Murphy. And when I was thinking about doing this newsletter today, I thought, what is it that I'm feeling? And I realized I'm feeling the magic in doing what I love. And my whole desire is that you feel that in your life too. And I spent decades doing a job that I was good at, but really, did it really make my heart sing? Not so much. I had great friendships, I had a great reputation, but to really feel like, wow, I'm really having an impact on people is tremendous. So now that I've stepped into doing the meaningful work that I love, part of that magic is being realized because I am leaving this week to go to Europe, to go to a workshop that my mentor is conducting in London, and then to fly over to Amsterdam and work with a colleague and do a workshop over there. So I thought, years ago when I first started this, I thought, oh, I really want to do international work too. And this is part of that dream being realized. And it's really amazing to have that starting to happen. And it really is a matter for me of just kept putting one foot in front of the other, and that's what I still do. Because I know before, when I was looking at other programs and I was doing them, overwhelm would ultimately take over. I'd be like, oh God, this is just too much to this, and I would fall into overwhelm, and then I would sabotage myself. And since I've discovered tapping and do that consistently and have the great fortune of working with clients all day doing it, because I get the borrowing benefits of that, I've noticed that I'm better able to keep putting one step in front of the other to move toward my dream. And I realized years ago, it was a gentleman, I don't remember, he did this program called the Brazilian Butt Lift. And what I thought was so hilarious is in it he said, a little change is a big change. And that is so absolutely true. And something that I've realized about this for myself is close to 6 years ago, when I was in the pits of despair and not sleeping through the night for over a year because of the financial debacle that was happening in mine and my husband's life, I would fall asleep, but then I would wake up and I was in terror. And one day I woke up about a year into it, and I looked in the mirror, and everything other than my face was covered in hives because of all the stress that I'd been through and felt, because I wasn't realizing my potential with that, and I was in such a place of despair about it. So in that day, what I realized when I was looking in the mirror, and I thought, oh my God, I'm killing myself with my thoughts, because that's virtually what was happening to me. I was trying to get myself out of it. I was trying to think positive, and yet I couldn't glom on to anything positive. But that day it hit critical mass for me, and literally when I looked at those hives all over my body and I realized, oh my God, I'm virtually killing myself with my thoughts, I set an intention that day that what I was going to do is, if I could find the tiniest speck of something to feel grateful for, that's what I was going to look for. And I started to do that. And little tiny step by little tiny step, I started to feel better. And what I realized I was doing was, even though 99% of my thoughts that any given day might have been like in the toilet, the camera lens of my mind had turned and started to focus on just finding that one little positive thing that I could eke out of the day. And I realized that was the tiniest little change, yet it was a huge change for me, because it started to change my world. And like I said, each and every day, I just started to feel like a tiny bit better, until I got to where I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling so much better now. So if you are thinking that there's something in your life that you're not reaching that pinnacle of what you want to reach, first of all, I don't think we'll ever really reach the pinnacle. We will always be works in progress. So you will always be a work in progress, as am I. But if you can find that one little speck that can really help you hold on to it, and if you do the tapping, that can massively transform the limiting beliefs that are in the way of you reaching a life you love and meaningful work you love. So I'm going to end this with a little tapping round. So karate chop. Even though I feel overwhelmed sometimes, what I want feels too big, too out of reach. I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I know I want more, but I don't know how to get there. It's so overwhelming. I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I want my life to be different. But it feels so overwhelming. I don't know how to get there. I deeply and profoundly accept myself now. It's so overwhelming. It's too big. But what if the way to take the big leap is one little step at a time? One little step at a time. What if that's what can get me there? I'm so overwhelmed. But the overwhelm's a feeling. And I can attend to the feeling and then let it go. I'm so overwhelmed. What if that's the only work that I have to do right now? I don't have to figure out the how of anything. I just have to figure out the next step. And what if that step for me right here and now is just to deal with my overwhelm and my doubt, and believe that by doing that, the how will be made clear to me? What if that's all I have to do right now? And by doing so, the next step will be shown to me. That feels a little easier. It feels less overwhelming. And what if that's the way to move forward? Is one little step at a time. That can get me there in a really amazing way. Take a breath. So whenever you feel overwhelmed about, oh gosh, I can't get in there, just chunk it down to, that's the first thing to deal with, is the feeling of overwhelm. Because as you clear out the doubt, the fear, the overwhelm, the anxiety, then the how of it and the way is made clear for you. So take good care. Thanks so much for being here. See you next time.